Hi there and welcome to English with Malik. You see, before I went to bed yesterday, I had watched TV. And before I watched TV, I had talked to my friend. And before I talked to my friend, we had had a wonderful dinner. All of these sentences are telling us something about past, okay? But there are two kind of things that I'm talking about in the past. One that happened after the other. That's what we are going to study today. Past perfect. See, past perfect is two tenses two actions actually. One action that happened, then another action happened. Okay. Uh, Otherwise, it's very confusing for us to understand past perfect. For instance, if I say I talked to my friend, okay, this is one action, and this action is about past simple. But can I say the same thing like I had talked to my friend? Can I say this? Can I say the same thing? We have to think about it. Actually, past perfect is two actions, like I said, that we need to understand. Here in this graph, we can see that there is one action, okay, and then there is another action. The first action is near to the present, and the second action is far from the present. And before the second action, there is another action that we have. So therefore, we also say that past perfect is actually past of past. Okay. So to have past perfect, we need to have another past. This sentence will be correct if I write it like this. For example, I might say, before I made up my mind, I had talked to my friend. I had talked to my friend. This is what past perfect is all about. We have past simple, okay, here, and we have past perfect over here. That is past perfect. Okay. And to see our graph, what I did, I made up my mind. Okay. But before I made up my mind, I had talked to my friend. So past perfect, we cannot really understand. It's difficult to understand past perfect when there is only one action. For past perfect, we have to have two actions in comparison. Okay. The same sentence, I can write in that way as well. I can also say that after I had talked to my friend, after I had talked to my friend, I made up my mind. I made up my mind. Okay. So the conjunction that I'm using here, before and after, they are going to tell us that which tense would come first. If I'm using before, then I'm using past simple first and then past perfect. But if I'm using after, I'm using past perfect first and then past simple afterwards. Okay. So past perfect is all about two actions. Okay. One that happened before the other. Okay. So that's the idea of it. And how do we make sentences in past perfect? Well, the idea with past perfect is quite simple. Whatever the subject we have, whether it is I or he or she or it or you okay, or we, or they, okay, or an individual like Sam, or for example, two people like Sam and Henry. Okay, in every case, we'll say that I had watched TV before I went out. Okay, I had watched TV before I went out. I'm using again two tenses because, like I said, I'm repeating it again and again to help you understand that past perfect is not just one tense, it's a combination that we need to understand. So before I had watched TV, before I went out, this had, the third form of verb we are using, that is the third form of verb. So the idea to make past perfect is had plus third form of verb. Okay. And in the earlier lesson, when we were studying past simple, I told you that we need to remember first, second, third form of verbs. They come in present tenses, in past tense, and in the perfect tenses as well. Okay. And how do we make a negative? It's easy to make a negative. What do you do is you use had not, and then the third form of verb, okay, like had not watched, or the short form is hadn't. Okay. And how do we make a question? We take out had, okay, like you say, had I, had you, had we, had she, had it, okay, watched TV, and the rest of the sentence. Okay. So with past perfect, I must say you need to remember that there should be two actions. One that is near to present, it will be past simple. The other, which is far from past, and there is another action which we have. Therefore, we'll use past perfect over here. And like I said, it is past of past. Okay. With whatever the subject we have, we'll use had plus third form of verb. And for this, we'll have to remember forms of verbs, which are like regular forms like this one, and irregular forms like one, for example. You know, if you say, I had won the match. So one is third form of win, won, won. We have like this. So we have the subjects. We have had plus third form in positive. Then we have had not plus third form in the question, in the negative. And then we have had plus subject and then third form of verb in our question. So please practice for it. Make a few sentences. Like I gave you an example in the beginning. You can make sentences either with before or after. You know, suppose with after, you can say that after I had a bath in the morning, I had my breakfast. After I had my breakfast, I changed my clothes. After I had changed my clothes, I went out. So there is a series that will go, and you can make sentences like this for the whole day that you do different kind of activities. Okay. So please write to me if there are any questions, any comments, anything that you still want to clarify. I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye until then.